Hey everyone, thought I'd come on here and hopefully show you guys how I'm going to attempt to put this cute wrapping paper onto a 30-ounce Maker Flow cup. This cup has been prepped. It's been sanded. However, I am not spray painting it white. I'm leaving it as is. This wrapping paper I think came from Walmart last year. It's the kind of the foil look. It's really pretty. You can use any kind of wrapping paper that you want. However, I find that the foil paper is a little bit easier to work with. Now what I did is I took, this is I think 9.5 inches tall. I made it a little bit taller than my cup. And I just made it big enough to where it wrapped around my cup. And then what I did was I took a piece of that, turned it upside down, taped around the edges with masking tape, and took this outside and sprayed the back with Krylon triple thick. The reason I've done that is because this, when you put Mod Podge on your cup and you apply your paper, it pretty much sticks instantly, and I'm hoping that will give me a little bit of work time as I'm adding this to my cup. So I did let this completely dry, and I don't know if this will work or not. I have no idea, but I'm going to go ahead and peel this up. And then I'm going to cut this paper down to 8.5 inches tall, and I'm going to leave it long enough where it'll wrap around my cup, and then I shall return. Okay everyone, I got that untaped, and if you see, this Krylon triple thick clear glaze did not hurt the front of my image at all. Actually, it didn't even hurt the back. And I'm hoping that'll just give it enough pliability, I guess, to work with on the cup once I start adding Mod Podge, because if you don't do that, this pattern has to be exactly straight just because of these lines. If you have a pattern that doesn't have to be completely straight, then you don't need to do that at all. But this is the paper backing. As soon as you stick it to that Mod Podge, it sticks instantly. There's no work time at all. I mean, zero. And also another thing that I did, I cut out 3 of the little snowmen. They are not perfect. I just cut around the basic shape of the snowman because I want to try to mask my seam a little bit. Another thing that I'm going to be using is just gloss Mod Podge. You can use any kind that you want. That's just my go-to. And let's see, what else? An old brush. And I did put a little piece of masking tape up here on the top of my cup, and I'm hoping that will help me get my pattern wrapping paper on straight. The first time I attempted this, it wasn't straight, and I had to take all of that off and redo it. So here we go. I'm just going to take my brush and add a nice coat of Mod Podge. Make sure I cover all of the cup evenly. I don't want no big gloppy lines. Hopefully my house isn't too warm this morning to dry this too fast. Oops. Well. Okay. I think that's pretty good. Get that off of my paper. All right. So I'm going to find where my masking tape is. Now my paper's been cut straight, so I shouldn't be concerned too much about that. But I want to apply this right along the line of my masking tape, and I'm going to start pressing down, trying to get out any wrinkles or air bubbles. And I moved my oh, thank goodness it worked. Okay. All right, so I had to push it back up. I'm going to try not to press down too hard. But see, that Krylon triple thick gave me some work time. Previously, when I'd done that and my paper moved, I could not fix it. Okay, so it's not completely straight. Let me see what I can do. I don't know if I can move it anymore. Man, this is tough. Let's see. Did I get it that time? Not really. Let me see. Well, at least my paper's not sticking. Okay, I think I may just have to leave it off just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and put some Mod Podge down over this where it overlaps. And I wish that would have really evened out, but it's off just a little bit, but it may not matter. If it bothers me too bad, I'll start over. Now I do have a little part of my cup showing at the bottom, but that doesn't matter because I think I'm going to put black glitter down here, or I may even do the I'm just working out these wrinkles. I may even do the spray paint, the top and bottom. I don't know yet. Okay, so now I'm going to take and apply Mod Podge to the top of this paper. And I will do this, I think, twice. I'll do it this first time, let this completely dry. Make sure I'm getting around the edge of my paper up here. And also at the bottom. Let me go ahead and move this masking tape while I can. Okay. Now I'm going to take and I'm just going to press pretty hard. I'm going to get out any kind of air bubbles. If it wrinkles a little bit, I'm not too concerned about that. Okay. All right, now I'm going to let this dry and I will do that again. So I shall return. Okay, my cup, the first layer is dry. Before I add my second layer, I want to try to cover my seam a little bit because it kind of looks crazy right now. So my thought is the snowman that I cut out, I want to apply them in this area. Like so. However, it looks like I may have to cut a little bit of this off so my blue line will still show. Let me grab some scissors real quick. And sorry if I sound like I'm breathing a little heavy. I just got over COVID. I'm going to try to cut this as straight as I can. I would rather the back side of the snowman to be off than his face. That just looks hideous to me. So, all right. So, I think that should work pretty good. Now, what I'm going to do is just apply a light coat of Mod Podge to this. Just over the square. I still want to be able to see through it. My hands look hideous. I've been crafting, painting my garage, doing all kinds of stuff lately. Okay, so I'm going to get that as close to the edge on this side as I can. I'm not too concerned about anything other than getting this inside the line. And if it's off just a little bit there, I don't think that'll matter. So, all right, now I'm going to put a coat of Mod Podge on top of him. And then rub out any wrinkles. Anywhere that it's kind of screwed up, I'm likely going to add some splashed snow onto this with some white acrylic paint just thinned down. I may even add some snowflakes, especially to hide some areas that show too much. Okay, so there is that one. Now I think I'm going to go ahead and do this one as well, even though he doesn't look too bad. But I'm going to go ahead and put a piece over him. Down here, I'm not going to worry about that unless I just want to cut out one of the little hats and put it on there. So let me go ahead and cut this edge off. And I'm going to, again, put a little thin coat of Mod Podge here. And apply this little fellow. Let's see. Don't think I got that too. Try that again. Okay. Oh, no, that's hideous. Let's see. Let me try it this way. This time I'm going to put it on the line. Bring it up just a little bit. Cut this little edge off just a little bit. Like I said, anywhere that it looks weird, I'll just add a snowflake or some splashed snow over it. I can't stand the seams to be too crazy. Okay, Mod Podge over top of that one. Rub out any air bubbles that you may have. sound like I'm breathing like a crazy. But COVID was pretty rough. And my camera is like right where my nose is, so I'm sorry. Okay. I don't wear gloves, that's why my hands look hideous. I just can't stand gloves. Okay, so there is that. That hid the seam pretty well. I will go ahead and apply another coat of Mod Podge over everything again. Now, the reason I do this is because if you do not seal this well, especially around the edges, the epoxy will seep underneath this paper and totally destroy it, just like it would for fabric tumblers and so forth. So I usually put 2 coats of this, and then I tape off the top, and I spray it twice with Krylon triple thick. My nose makes me sound like I'm saying Krylon. I'm saying Krylon. So crazy. Okay, so I'll let this completely dry clear, and then I'll spray it with the clear glaze. And then when I come back, we'll move on to the next step, which I think, like I said, I'm going to splash some snow on here. I'm also going to cut out some vinyl snowflakes with my Cricut machine and add those. It's just small snowflakes, nothing huge, and add those in just random places. Okay, so I'm going to let this dry and then we'll continue. If you see anywhere where you might have an air bubble, as long as your Mod Podge is still wet, you can press down really, really hard and eliminate those air bubbles. It's best to do that on the first coat, but it looks like I've missed a couple, so I'm hoping that might have gotten it. Okay, so I shall return. Okay, the Mod Podge is now dried completely on my cup. Now what I'm going to do is, since I got this off a little bit whenever I first applied it to the cup, it's uneven, so I'm going to take my edge trimmer that I got from Wicked Shimmer Supply, and I'm just going to press it against this razor blade down here and just go completely around my cup 2 or 3 times. This is really thin paper, so one time would likely be enough. But to go through the Mod Podge, I figure at least a couple of times. Sorry, but my dog is playing with his ball. He's being a little loud. That's where all my little marks have come from. New puppy, and he loves to play really rough. So, okay, so now all I'm going to do is peel this away, and it should come off fairly easily. Let's see, yeah. And I do have a little bit of glue residue, and what I'll do is I'll just take my fingernail and just scrape that away. And then I'm going to tape this off, and I'm going to leave a little, let me see. I'm going to leave a little gap, just a little thin gap. And I'll tape this all the way around, leaving just a little bit of my silver showing. And I'm going to take it outside and give it 2 coats of the Krylon triple thick clear glaze. And then let that completely dry. And then I'll apply my splattered snow. And I don't know if I'll do the snowflakes yet, or even if I will do the snowflakes, but I may add a few. But I might do those after the first coat of epoxy. I haven't decided yet. So I'll decide once I'm done with this. So I'm going to take this outside and spray it, and I shall return. Okay, I think before I spray this with the clear glaze, I think I'm going to go ahead and do the bottom of the cup. I'm just going to dab white acrylic paint all along the bottom with this old sponge. My sponge is dampened. It may take 2 coats of this. I am going to go up to the edge just a little. I'm not worried about it looking perfect because I think I'm going to do the possibly the Dawn spray and white spray paint along the bottom and top to make everything come together. And hopefully I won't screw my cup up, but if I do, I'll just start over. So all I'm doing is going up to the edge of my paper, and I think I'm gonna let that dry, and I'll do one more coat of that, and then we'll take this outside and do the clear coat and the Dawn spray. So okay, I'm going to try to do this with the Dawn Platinum Power Wash stuff. I've not done this too many times. Now, I want to keep this away from the bottom and also away from the top. So, sorry, my dog is going to go crazy because he can't stand that I'm out here without him. Okay, I have Krylon semi-gloss white. This is all I could find. And all I'm going to do is spray the bottom until it's solid white down there. And same thing here at the top. Oh, my glove is too big and I think it's going to fall off. Oh my. I cannot move it because I'll mess my cup up. Okay. I think that's good. And just spray this off. Now, prior to doing this, I did have 2 coats of the Krylon Triple Fix Clear Glaze. Now, in these areas where it may have bubbled, I'll just take white acrylic paint over that. But I think that looks pretty cute. Okay, you can see some little, sorry, I may have been out of view a little bit on that power spray, but there's thousands of videos on that out there on the the almighty YouTube channel, but you'll see some white specks here that I really want those to be covered up. I've already done the bottom. I just took white acrylic paint on my sponge, and I'm just going around the top. I'm not going down into where it's lacing, just around the top. And all I'm doing is covering up any of those little mishaps. And then I'll let this dry. And I am so glad that I went with the power spray on this. It looks so cute. However, I do see that it looks a little bit foggy, like a little bit. And I'm hoping that I have a fix for that. So I have to wait and let this dry first before I can test that out. And if not, it doesn't look bad. So the temperature is a little bit cool here, and that usually happens with the clear spray, and usually I can fix it, but we'll see. Okay, so that's all I'm going to do to that, and I'm going to let this dry. Okay, my cup is good and dry now. Now, however, my bottom part laced really nice and pretty, and it went up about 1.5 inches or so, maybe a little bit more. Up here at the top, it just kind of looks pukey. So I think what I want to do, I think I'm going to wrap this foil around my cup. And that's just to catch the overspray of the paint so it won't get down on this part of my cup. I am not going all the way up to the top of my cup. I'm leaving a gap about that big. Oh, and the milkiness look went away after this dried completely. Don't know why, so odd, but it did. So I'm happy for that. If it hadn't dried, I would have took a paper towel with a little bit of acetone on it and just rubbed over this lightly to get rid of that milky look. So I don't have to do that now, so I'm very happy with that. Hopefully this time, when I record me doing the Dawn Power Spray, you'll be able to see it, hopefully. If not, I do apologize, but I have no one here that'll record for me, and I thought I was in camera view and I was up too high. But I have that wrapped all the way around my cup. I'm going to go outside. I'm going to spray just this area with the power spray and then spray this part with the white spray paint. So let's go do that. Okay, hopefully I can do this and be in view this time. I'm so sorry, everyone. Okay. Now, like I said, all I'm going to do is spray my power spray in this area. Hard to do this with one hand. Sorry, my dog is going crazy. He can't stand that I'm out here without him. Okay, now I'm going to take my white spray paint and spray over this again. I'm hoping I'll get that pretty lace effect like I did at the bottom. I think I will. Hopefully I didn't screw this up. There we go. Now, oh, and I turned off my stupid water. But anyhow, I'll rinse it inside. But that's all I did to that. Okay, so that worked out very well. I'm very pleased with that. About the only thing I'm not pleased with is the image that I cut out is kind of showing a little bit. But all I'm going to do is take a paintbrush with a little bit of acrylic paint and just go over this top portion of the line that's showing. I'll have to remove my masking tape. And other than that, I absolutely adore this cup. I think it's beautiful. There's a few wrinkles, but I'm not concerned about wrinkles. I think it gives it character. A couple places that are still uneven. Not too bad, but I'll do something with that. I think now I'm going to splash a little bit of snow on this. Okay, what I've got here is some white acrylic paint with a little bit of water mixed in it. It's still pretty thick, but what I want it to do is whenever I hit my brush, I want it to splash a snow texture. So not very hard. You can make it however you wish. Don't put too much water in it though, because your snow effect will turn transparent, I guess, instead of opaque. So I'm just randomly dripping, splashing snow, some big, some little. Oop. In areas like that, I'll take a Q-tip and a little bit of water and clear that up. And just put however much you want, however little you want. It doesn't matter. It's totally your personal preference. I do want some on my snowman face. Not much, but just a little. Also on their hats a little. I just think that looks really cute, especially since the snowmen on this wrapping paper are fairly dark with all this silver and gray. Okay, now if I find some areas that like I said, that I made too big, I'll just take a Q-tip and a little bit of water and clean some of this up. But overall, I like that pretty well. Okay, I think that's plenty enough. I could do this all day. All right, let me go get a Q-tip. Okay, I went ahead and got a Q-tip and some water. I just dipped my Q-tip down in the water, and any areas that messed up like that, I will just wipe those away. I don't like this big blob here, so I'll eliminate that. I think, let's see. I think I'll leave the rest. Don't really like all of these around his cheek. It looks like I tried to outline his cheek in snow, so that looks better. Now, if there's some areas that you specifically want a little bit of snow, you could take the tip end of your brush and say, just add random dots. Don't get it to where it looks like too much of a pattern. You want it very random. Okay, didn't mean to do that. That looks horrible. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Put a big one here on his little hat. Maybe a big one there. And you can just randomly do this. Okay, I think that's good. I think I'm going to stop at that. Okay, so now I think I'll get just maybe 6 snowflakes out of white vinyl or silver. I'm thinking white. And I'll put those just randomly. They're going to be kind of small. I'll put those in random places, but mainly because I want to cover up. You see where my seam doesn't meet, like I would put one there. Likely put one here. I may do 5 or 6, not too many. I think that's the only couple places that I see, and really and truly they don't look bad. I wonder, maybe I'll skip the snowflakes. Maybe I'll do a big white dot here. And maybe another one here. And just for, I'll put just a few really big white dots. Just to make it all kind of flow. But snowflakes would still look pretty on here. I'm just being lazy. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. I'm gonna put one, let's see, put one here. Okay, so I think that hit it pretty good. Good enough for me. So let me give, I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of white paint and fix this little line, that because that will absolutely drive me insane. Just in case, show it all. I wouldn't imagine anyway, but just in case. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry. Everything else is almost dry. I have a few of my big blobs that aren't fully dry yet. If you have any that get a little hole in them like that one has, just take a little bit of paint to fill it in. I don't know if I saw any more like that. So I think I'm done with this cup, guys. I'll add some really fine shimmery glue, and I may do several more of these. I absolutely love the idea. I've tried it before with regular gift wrap, and it did not turn out half as pretty as this. So I think the way to go is the foil gift wrap, even though this one isn't extremely stiff like it's complete foil. I think just the top layer is. So the back side, like I said, is the paper backing, and it turned out beautiful. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you do, please like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, have them to do the same, please. And I will try to get more tutorials. I love Christmas time, so I'll try to get some more in before Christmas. But like I said previously, I babysit 5 days a week. And now that I'm over COVID, I start babysitting Monday. So we'll see how that goes, but I will try my best, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.